My first ever experience with a movie adaptation of a musical was the 1965 film The Sound of Music. I was really young and I remember being bored out of my mind because that movie's like 3 hours long. For the last 10 years or so, musicals have definitely interested me, and the first stage to film adaptation I remember really loving was the 2014 film Into the Woods. That movie is a banger. I have a few thoughts about the more recent string of adaptations from the last 5 years or so I thought I'd make a video on them. And this video is only going to include the ones I've seen, and I might make a part 2 after watching more. I do need to watch more. I haven't watched very many. In 2021, the 2015 musical Dear Evan Hansen by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul got a film adaptation and theatrical release. Christ! I remember going to the theater to watch this movie and leaving really disappointed. I had never seen the musical on stage, and I was really hoping that this movie would be a way that I could get the full experience and really understand the plot. Unfortunately, what I got instead was 137 minutes of a 27-year-old Nepo baby playing a 17-year-old. What makes this worse is that Kaitlyn Dever, who was 25 at the time, did a way more convincing role as a 16-year-old while playing his love interest, so that's not good. Ben Platt was the original role of Evan in the musical, and I will admit that his performance is great in the musical, but literally nobody else reprised their role, so why were we subjected to 137 minutes of this? The answer to that question is that his dad was the producer, and that's really it. I genuinely forgot how bad that was. Get him away from the high schoolers. Even worse, they didn't include a lot of heavy plot-related songs, and I'll let you guess how many they left out. Just letting you guess. That's right, they left out 9 songs, 4 full songs and 5 reprises, so about 47% of the musical numbers from the stage show. And the explanation for this was that they apparently wanted to focus on Evan's story. So I personally love the musical, and I would definitely consider doing a whole video where I just explain the plot of it, because it's definitely a hell of a plot, and it's fun. It's really fun to talk about, honestly. I love the musical. I hated the movie. That's pretty much all my thoughts on it, honestly. Mean Girls. Where do I start? I love the movie, and I love the musical. So I was really thrilled to hear about the 2024 stage to film adaptation. Woo! Excuse me. I was really thrilled to hear about the 2024 stage to film adaptation, and I saw it in theaters, and it was not good. So the first problem again is cut songs, and I'll let you guys guess how many they cut this time. Just got your guess? Okay. Good job. They cut 14 songs and replaced the opening number with a new song that nobody wanted. Yippee! This means that they cut 56% of the songs from the musical, which I saw the musical myself, and I really enjoyed it. The musical, not the movie. But another thing is casting, and I didn't see a whole lot of issues with the casting, except for the lead, who played Katie. Andrea Rice, she's a great actress, but she's not the strongest singer, which is really unfortunate in this role, because it's a musical. And I want to be clear, I'm not trying to hate on her in any way. I have a strong opinion that if this had been a non-musical remake of Mean Girls, she definitely would have made a great Katie. But unfortunately, and this could just be how the songs are written, a lot of the numbers she leads in ended up really flat. And a lot of the problems were really just the lack of songs and the writing itself, which goes for a lot of stage to film adaptations. Not all stage to film adaptations are bad. Movies like The Sound of Music, Into the Woods, and even the more recent Wicked are some pretty faithful and well-casted versions of their original shows. And a stage-to-film adaptation always seems like a good idea. It's a way for people who don't have the time or money to go somewhere and see something live, just to get the experience of the musicals visually instead of just reading the plot on Genius while they listen to the songs. Going back to Wicked, the most recent I've seen, I genuinely liked this movie. I had some very low expectations for it, and I was pleasantly surprised by how much I loved it. As someone who loved the soundtrack growing up but never got the chance to see it live, it gave me real context behind a lot of the numbers, and it was just really cool to see them performed. I remember telling my mom how I thought that Wicked wasn't going to end well, and I cited Mean Girls and Dear Evan Hansen as my reasons, and she replied with, "But you liked Hamilton. Hamilton was good." I don't think I'd ever been more confused and appalled in my life. I had to explain to her that Hamilton was not a stage to film adaptation, but a literal recording of a stage performance. Hamilton was amazing because it kept the show on the stage. It showed every minute prop, every subtle background movement, every authentic moment. I personally believe that this is the best way to bring theater to an audience, just like how Hamilton did, as a professional recording of the stage performance. The sad reality is that film and stage shows are so different from each other. Film adaptations can't completely capture the magic of a musical like the stage can. A lot of them try and a lot of them fail. The biggest difference, I think, is the audience that they're pandering to. The film community and theater community have a much smaller overlap than one may first assume. So, movie acting and stage acting, especially in musical theater, it's so different. Musical theater has a sense of exaggeration to it, and not many actors, or there's stuff outside my window. Musical theater has a sense of exaggeration to it, and not many actors or directors end up including that in film adaptations for fear of looking stupid or silly. The problem is that when you cut those things from the performance, it ends up lifeless and dull and taking everything out of it. If you look up a stage performance of Sincerely Me from Dear Evan Hansen, yes, I'm bringing that up again, and compare it to the film's rendition of the same song, there's a really clear difference. The interactions, the jokes, and the tone itself are all watered down, lifeless, and just tacky. Of course, like I said before, this isn't the case for all adaptations. If you have a favorite stage-to-screen adaptation, please drop it in the comments, because I would love for someone to change my mind and show me that a film adaptation can be just as good as the stage. I'm tired of being disappointed by film adaptations of musicals. I want to be able to watch them without paying hundreds of dollars for tickets, but I haven't seen many good ones. Thank you so much to everyone who made it to the end of this video. This was my first time kind of scripting out a video. I wrote everything down and then spoke it off the page just to kind of get a feel of what I wanted to say before I said it. So I didn't say as many filler words as last time, but I'm still kind of just trying to get the hang of this. This is kind of a different topic than I usually do, but I really just am trying to find things that I want to talk about and want to edit down, because editing takes so long. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I enjoy making these, and I hope you liked the gameplay in the background, because I just put that in so I wouldn't have to pick out a bunch of videos and pictures to put in. It's a lot easier to just put in gameplay. Thank you so much for watching again. I'll see you guys the next time I get a video idea, I guess.